It must be very concerning to astute observers in Israel to note that Biden may be the last Democrat president who supports Israel, at least on paper. And if you look at Great Britain, still a very significant power and a place that understands the world because of their history as much as anything else, you now have the ugly reality that a change of government is likely to mean that the Labor Party would depend upon a very large number of seats that can be determined by what might be called an anti-Israel vote. So that loss of support amongst the West, as you say, opens the way, I would have thought, for something even uglier extending across the world if Israel is not supported now, if people don't wake up at what the real issues are in all of this.
Yeah, look, there's a demographics problem across the world, for sure. I would say, putting Israel aside, the UK has a demographics problem as it relates to immigrants and radical Islam and everything else. And if you're, Sadiq Khan, who's the mayor of London, I actually think he's quite radical in his personal beliefs. But even the Prime Minister of England right now, who has, to your point, of the UK, to your point, he's not going to be Prime Minister that much longer, likely. I don't think he's that radical, actually. But I think what's happening is, if you wake up every Sunday morning for 6 months and see 200,000 Muslims and leftists marching through your streets and shutting down your streets and shutting down bridges and everything else, at some point you just start appeasing them if you don't have a backbone. And we don't have many great leaders with backbones. I would say, the Netherlands just elected Geert Wilders, and he seems like he's going to be a little bit stronger on this stuff. But Italy elected Meloni, and it seemed like she was going to be great on this, and Italy still has a huge problem with immigration. So there are demographic problems that are internal problems for all of these countries. The United States has a much lesser problem with this because we've integrated people way better. We had the melting pot, where in Europe it was largely, we're going to kind of keep these separate. Yeah, they can all say they're British, but these people are really Pakistani, and these are the real Brits. We did it much better in America for generations. And by the way, that's another thing that the left has really started to shred, because they have everybody thinking about their ethnicity and their skin color way more than being American, and that's a damn shame, and we have to fix that if possible. But I would say it's an internal demographics problem, and then that internal demographics problem becomes an external problem as it relates to Israel. But I'm sure you saw the story a couple weeks ago. They're violently threatening members of parliament in the UK who support Israel. They're violently threatening them, showing up to their homes. Well, at some point, if you're a member of parliament and people keep showing up to your home, threatening you and your family, you might just vote the other way. That's just self-preservation. So if we don't stand up, we're at a very weird moment. If we do not stand up for Western ideals across the world, pretty much right now, I would say we got a couple months left, because you're right, the American election could largely change everything in a way that is beyond estimation. Then maybe it will be over, and we'll all look back and go, boy, that 2024 was pretty good, because it's going to be 2036 and things will be significantly worse.